The word master can mean a lot of things, but in the context of audio mastering and music production, a master usually refers to the file or the thing that will be used for distribution or manufacturing. And this could, for example, be the DDP that you send to the pressing plant if you want to make CDs, or the WAV files that you send to the aggregator for online distribution. I will talk more about these master formats in a minute. Mastering is the last chance to tweak the sound of a record, and when the master has been created, there will usually not be any more changes made to the audio. So the master needs to be free from errors, so quality control is an important part of mastering. The master will also need to be in the correct format for the target media. And there are mainly 3 target media that are relevant today for releasing music. There is online distribution like Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, YouTube, Bandcamp, and others. And this is the standard way of distributing music today. Then we have audio CDs. Many records are still being released on CD, but it's getting less common each year. Vinyl records are still going strong. They are maybe even more common than CD at the moment. And we're going to look at the masters used for each of these target media. Other formats that are currently somewhat relevant but not as common are Dolby Atmos and cassette. And cassette is already an established and historically very successful format, and it is having a bit of a comeback in certain niches. Dolby Atmos is also quite popular at the moment, but we will need to see if immersive audio for music catches on and if Atmos will be the winning format. If you want to release your music on Spotify or Apple Music or any other streaming platform, then you will usually use a distributor or an aggregator. They will then publish your record on each platform. And the masters that are being sent to the distributor or aggregator are usually regular WAV files, 1 file per song. And the standard format is WAV 16 bits 44.1 kHz. These are accepted by all major distributors and aggregators. Another common format is high-resolution WAV files, and these are at 24 bits and can be at a higher sample rate as well. 44.1 is still quite common, but also 48 kHz or 96 kHz. There will occasionally be masters at 192 kHz as well. If your distributor or aggregator accepts files in higher resolution, then you can normally use these instead of the 16-bit files. And these high-resolution files are necessary for things like Tidal Masters or Apple Digital Masters and other services that are focusing on higher audio quality. And most distributors or aggregators will also accept other formats than WAV, like AIFF or FLAC, but regular WAV files will always work. And lossy formats like MP3 or AAC should not be used as masters. The master files can also contain metadata like artist name and song titles, but this will normally be ignored at later stages. You will instead add all the metadata when uploading the files to the distributor or aggregator, and they will then handle everything from that point and make sure that everything is tagged as it should be. When it comes to masters for audio CD, then DDP is the main format nowadays. DDP stands for Disk Description Protocol, and this is a format for describing the contents of an audio CD. And a DDP master is a set of files inside a folder, and it contains all the audio, all the start and stop markers, and also metadata like ISRC, barcode, and CD text. And DDPs can be created by some DAWs like Wavelab or Samplitude or Reaper, or by using specialized software like those from Sonoris or Hofa. The DDP will usually be delivered as a zip file containing the DDP file set, and this is what you will normally get from a mastering studio, and you should send the whole zip file to the pressing plant unless you get other instructions. And note that you need special software in order to listen to the DDP. When we deliver DDPs, we always include this software inside the DDP to make it easier for our clients. And listening to the DDP is a good way to make sure that everything is exactly as you want it to be before the CDs are manufactured. And technically, this is a pre-master, because the actual physical master is the glass master that is made at the pressing plant. The master for a vinyl record is a physical master, and this physical master is the thing that the metal stampers will be created from at the pressing plant. And the metal stampers will then be used to press the actual records. And the master is created using a cutting lathe, and this is a very rare, expensive, and complicated machine that feeds audio into a cutting head that wiggles a stylus that cuts a groove into either a lacquer layer on an aluminum disc or into a copper disc in the case of direct metal mastering. And this requires specialized equipment, but most mastering studios don't have cutting lathes. So what we do is that we prepare wave files, one file per side, as well as a timing sheet that indicates where each song begins on the side. So this is a sort of an intermediate master format that is then used by the cutting engineer when cutting the actual master. And the audio will usually be tweaked a bit further by the cutting engineer in order to adapt the material to the vinyl format. So these are the kind of masters that are common for music production today. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.